But to me, I was never thinking about Minnesota.
Yeah.
Never, because I'm not even from here.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, all right, now how do we get New York to care?
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is fine. We coffee shops and shit. That's what, I guess it's cute, but come on now.
Yeah.
And Sadiq was the only one thinking like that too. We all were, don't get me wrong. But Sadiq was actually the dude like, all right, I'm going to build a studio in my house.
Yeah.
Because he had a job at Best Buy. That's the thing. All of us had jobs.
Right.
There was no borrowing money or crowdsourcing or some shit like that. We just like, Sadiq worked at Best Buy. I was a janitor. Slug worked at the record store. And on our free time, we did whatever we could with our music.
Yeah.
And did whatever it took to do so.
Yeah.
Put our resources together.
Yeah.
I kept my job all that time because we could only afford to pay one person at a time.
Right.
And obviously Sadiq's got to do it at first because he's got to do all this fucking paperwork nonsense.
Yeah.
And then Slug's he's the star. He's the one that he started to being the popular one.
Yeah.
We got to figure out how to pay him.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then take care of me and when we get there.
Yeah.
When
I met everybody, that's when like Rhymesayers was like the big hip hop thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember being around other crews and other people, and like we would do those little shows and then they would get their money and go buy weed, they would go eat, they would buy sneakers, they would whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when I was around Rhymesayers, there was none of that.
Yeah.
It was like this money all gets reinvested. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's totally different kind of thing. When we finally got a check because of Epitaph, we did a one-off record with them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what made us really, to me, and in a bigger way.
Seventh
Travels.
Yeah.
So that came out. I got paid finally.
Mm-hmm.
I never received the money until then, and not a dime. And
so that was 2003. So from 93, you put in 10 years.
Yeah, about 10 years.
Yeah.
About 10 years.
It's like 10 years of the Minneapolis part.
Minneapolis part of the story, yeah. Making music and demos before I made $1. Yeah.
How much was that check?
It was $50,000.
Okay.
Yeah. And
it was 2003.
In 2003. And it was funny too, because they were like, one of my boys was like, oh man, you could pay off your probation now. Because I only paid up to like $25,000. I still had like 25 more to go.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so I can do that, or I could start this janitorial company, which you can get a startup company, right? I could do that if I'm smart, right? Or I could buy a Cadillac. So I picked the Cadillac because I'm a true blue rap person. Yeah. So I did that, and I was like,
but it was black Cadillac with black leather seats, and you had the black leather jacket at that time, and you had the Sam Jackson Kango,
and the ponytail and all that shit.
Ponytail, yeah, man.
I was like Jackie Brown in it, and I was really proud of that.
Mm-hmm.
I was real happy, and
it was fly.
I loved it.
It was at the shop a lot, though.
Yeah, it really was. You remember that? Yeah. Well, all Cadillacs are.
Yeah.
It's American built. What do you expect? It's going to be a piece of shit. You know what I mean?
Dude, I remember there was some
At least
dude
nowadays.
This dude was trying to Jones on you for it, and he said something like, man, you just got a Ford with leather seats or something.
Oh, yeah. Dang. Yeah. But yeah, man, it's like, I needed that at that time.
Yeah.
So I did that. And then, but I kept my job, and I know they must have been tripping because I'd show up and, I worked at a clinic, nurses and doctors and shit. And there was like, and like the overnight staff, and there was like a call center, a bunch of nurses and shit. That was part of the place. And there was a dental office and stuff. And they saw my car and they're like, what is this dude doing? It's a brand new 2003 Cadillac,
But there was no rims, just to be
clear. I never was tacky.
That part.
Yeah. But yeah, I did that, and I was happy about it. And then
I mean, that was a moment, man. It's like you gotta, like, I think everybody's got to have that something. Like, there's got to be that thing that, like, something from the dream has to be part of this.
Yeah, something from the dream has to happen.
It's got to be something.
Yeah, and then that was probably one of the only times I really did anything like that. And I made the right choice because it just so happens it finally paid off that probation and blah, 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 blah. I never started a janitorial company, but that's all right.
Yeah.
That's all right. I could always do that if I have to.